Survivor Series was a professional wrestling pay-per-view event produced by WWE. It took place on November 24, 2013 at the TD Garden in Boston, and is the 27th annual Survivor Series show. It was the 11th pay-per-view in the 2013 lineup. The pay-per-view was the worst-selling edition of Survivor Series since the event's inception in 1987. This has been attributed to a weak build-up. It received 179,000 buys, down from 208,000 for the previous year's event, and attracted more than 100,000 fewer orders than the 2011 event, which generated 281,000 buys. Background: Survivor Series featured 7 professional wrestling matches and 1 pre-show match that involved wrestlers from pre-existing feuds, plots, and storylines that played out on WWE's primary television programs Raw and SmackDown. Wrestlers portrayed villains, heroes, or less distinguishable characters in the scripted events that built tension and culminated in a wrestling match or series of matches. The main feud heading into Survivor Series featured Randy Orton and Big Show over the former's WWE Championship. Since returning from an injury in mid-August, Big Show had been speaking out against COO and the on-screen regime of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and their mistreatment of several superstars, especially Daniel Bryan. This put him at odds with the Authority, and as a result, Big Show was continuously humiliated by Triple H and McMahon throughout September, and was obliged to knock out several other rebellious wrestlers, owing to a threat of being fired. At Battleground on October 6, Big Show interfered in a match between Orton and Bryan for the vacant WWE Championship, and knocked both competitors out, ruling out the match in no contest. The next night on Raw, he was fired from WWE by McMahon in storyline, but returned later that night to knock out Triple H in defiance. Big Show continued to illegally appear over the next several weeks on Raw, assisting Bryan, knocking out Raw General Manager Brad Maddox, and costing the Shield Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns their WWE Tag Team Championship. On the October 21 episode of Raw, Big Show announced he was filing a lawsuit against WWE for wrongful termination from his contract, and 2 weeks later won an out-of-court negotiation with Triple H and Stephanie over his lawsuit, and was rehired by WWE on the condition he promised not to sue them further and received a match against Orton for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series. The other world title in the company was also on the line at Survivor Series, as John Cena defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Alberto Del Rio. After suffering an elbow injury in August, Cena was to be sidelined from action for a minimum of 4 months. Despite this, SmackDown General Manager Vicky Guerrero surprised then World Heavyweight Champion Del Rio on the October 7 episode of Raw, by naming Cena as his opponent at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. At the event, Cena defeated Del Rio to win his 3rd World Heavyweight title, and his 14th World title overall. A rematch between the pair was announced for Survivor Series in early November. Another major rivalry pitted CM Punk and Daniel Bryan against the Wyatt family, an enigmatic backwards cult composed of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, led by the faction's namesake, Bray Wyatt. Since their debut in July, the Wyatt family had been targeting and attacking several wrestlers, including Kane, Kofi Kingston and The Miz, all in cause of Bray Wyatt exalting his character's preachings and ideals. On the October 28 episode of Raw, the Wyatt family attacked Bryan backstage, and later attacked Punk in the ring. With Punk and Bryan aiding each other and showing resistance, their altercations with the Wyatts continued over the next several weeks on Raw and SmackDown, until an official match between the teams was announced for Survivor Series. As is tradition, the PPV featured elimination tag team matches, the first of which saw the 5-man team of The Shield and the Real Americans face off against WWE Tag Team Champions Cody Rhodes and Goldust, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso, and Rey Mysterio, who made a surprise return on the November 18 episode of Raw. The second announced elimination match pitted Natalya, the Bella Twins, the Funkadactyls, Eva Marie, and JoJo against Divas champion AJ Lee, Tamina Snuka, Kaitlyn, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, Oksana, and Summer Rae. This match stems from AJ insulting Natalya and arrest for taking part in the Total Divas reality show. Also confirmed prior to the event was a match between Kofi Kingston and The Miz for the Survivor Series pre-show. On the November 18 episode of Raw, during a match with the Real Americans, The Miz turned against his tag team partner, Kofi Kingston, and walked out of the match, resulting in a heel turn. This action allowed Swagger to apply the ankle lock on Kingston, which he tapped out of, giving the win to the Real Americans. Also on the November 18, 2013, episode of Raw, Big E Langston defeated Curtis Axel to win the Intercontinental Championship, and a rematch was later confirmed for the pay-per-view. Results: Survivor Series elimination matches, 1, 2, Aftermath. The following night on Raw, WWE Champion Randy Orton came out to talk to the Authority about causing a distraction in his title defense against Big Show when he was interrupted by World Heavyweight Champion John Cena, who proposed a match against Orton to hold both world titles. Triple H agreed and made it a tables, ladders and chairs match at TLC, tables, ladders and chairs. Also later that night, The Shield faced 3 members of the opposing Survivor Series team members and Rey Mysterio and the WWE Tag Team Champions the Rhodes Brothers, and were victorious after Ambrose pinned Rhodes. Also later that night, The Shield attacked CM Punk after Punk and Daniel Bryan won a match by disqualification against all 3 members of the Wyatt family, who would drag Bryan off before Punk was attacked by The Shield. On the December 2 episode of Raw, Natalya pinned AJ, to secure a victory for her team in a 6-diva tag team match. After this string of non-title wins, Natalya was officially announced to challenge AJ for the Divas Championship at the TLC event. Another rematch was the 7-on-7 Divas Survivor Series elimination tag team match would happen, and the results are below. The official distributor for WWE titles in the UK and Europe will be releasing the event on DVD and Blu-ray on February 17, 2014. References. External links, official website.